Hey folks, this is Enclaver and today I'm going to show you my Nightblade tanking build for update 7 in Elder Scrolls Online Imperial City. First, let's start with the gear. The setup that I have combines 3 different sets. 5 pieces footman, which includes belt with boots plus rings and necklace. This set, with combination of the second set that I'll mention in a bit, is absolutely mandatory if you want to have easy time tanking everything in this game. The second set is 5 pieces Hisbark, which includes sword plus shield, chest, pants and gloves. The last set that I use is Guardian Engine. If you want to have almost no resource issues, I would advise you to use this set. The alternatives are Nirianet set if you want to provide more DPS as tank, or if you want to be more defensive, Bloodspawn is the way to go. And in case if you don't have any of those sets, just use 2 pieces of any crafted armor that gives health bonus. As far as gear traits, attribute points and Mundus Stone goes, you can check them in this screenshot. I have to say that with the attribute points and the armor glyphs, it's important to balance your stats. In order to be able to tank properly without issues, it's good to have around 25 to 28,000 HP, 13 to 18,000 stamina and the rest all in Magicka. Now let's move on to the skills. For the most situations, what I found out to work best on my bars is Bar 1, Pierce Armor. This skill is absolutely must have for every tank because it reduces the armor and spell resistances of the taunted targets. The second skill is Twisting Path. You need that skill for several reasons. When activated, it procs the Shadow Barrier passive in the Shadow skill line, which gives you flat 5280 physical and spell resistance for 10 seconds. It also provides nice AoE DPS and with combination of siphoning strikes makes your life as tank really easy. The third skill is SAP Essence. This is your most valuable skill for any area of effect situations. It gives you 20% spell and weapon damage, it provides decent AoE DPS and also does mass heal. The most targets you hit with SAP, the more heals you provide for you and your party. Number 4 skill is Funnel Health. This is your single target DPS spammable skill. It's also your most valuable skill because it provides awesome heals on you and 2 more party members. On top of that, on activation it procs the transfer passive in the siphoning skill line, which gives you 2 ultimate points with 4 seconds cooldown. Fifth skill on bar 1 is Siphoning Attacks. This skill is absolutely necessary for any Nightblade tank. It provides insane sustainability and it must be used in combination with Twisting Path and Razor Caltrops, or if you prefer, Anti-Cavalry Caltrops. The last skill, the ultimate, is Soul Harvest. While slotted, every Q provides 10 ultimate points and also passively increases your spell and physical crit rate by 2%. The second bar looks like this. Skill 1, Inner Fire. This is your ranged Magicka based taunt, and I advise you do not morph that skill because the first morph increases the chance for synergy, but the thing is that synergy is totally useless. The second morph makes the taunt stamina based, and we totally don't want that. The second skill is Razor Caltrops. That skill provides 30 seconds huge area of effect damage over time and also slows any enemy in range. Skill 3 is again SAP Essence, or you could swap it with Funnel Health if you prefer. The reason for me duplicating these skills on both bars is simple. In the Siphoning skill line there is a passive which gives 8% Magicka to your total Magicka pool while Siphoning ability is slotted. The fourth skill is Impel. This is your execution skill. Use it when enemy target is under 25% health. Skill 5 is Dark Shades. While active, they reduce enemies' damage by 15% and also provide small single target DPS boost. And the ultimate on this bar is Veil of Blades. It gives 30% damage reduction to any friendly target in small area. It does decent DPS every half second, and on top of that slows any enemy target by 70% for 13.8 seconds on last rank of the skill. And now, the final part from this build, the champion system. First we go to the Thief constellation, the Tower tree. The passive that we need here is Magician. This passive reduces the magical cost of all magical based skills, and as you already noticed, the SAP Mania build is heavily based on magical use. This is why you need to invest as many points in it as possible. Now we move to the lower tree. Over here we need the Arcanist passive, which increases magical regeneration. I advise you to invest as many points as you can in this passive. The next constellation, the Warrior. First we visit the Steed tree. Over here the most important passive is the Block Expertise. You need to invest here minimum 10 champion points to gain 5% block reduced cost. If you have many champion points, feel free to put more into it. Next comes the Lady. The passives that are mandatory in these three are Hardy and Elemental Defender. I advise you to put minimum 10 to 27 champion points in both in order to gain 5 or 10% reduction. In the next three, the Lord, the important passive here for any tank is Heavy Armor Focus. Again, depending on how many champion points you have, I would advise you to put minimum 10 to 27. And now off to the last constellation that we need to review, the Mage. In this constellation what you need is Elfborn and Spell Erosion passives in the Apprentice tree. The next passive that is needed is Thaumaturge in the Ritual tree. My advice here is put the majority of your champion points here, because this passive is the one that increases the raw damage of all your magic skills. The build is quite fun to play, folks, and trust me when I say this, the setup is really overpowered and you shouldn't have any issues tanking everything that this game have to throw at you.